Hey friends, Johanna coming to you again from the Freedom School. This is really a practice video. There's been a lot going on. I'm not sure I'll post it. So if I do, you know I've been really brave. I didn't record yesterday. Everything's so intense. The moon is waning. There's a lot of energy clearing out. Things are changing. They're like wanting to expand and clarify, and this is emergent process, right? Things want to evolve the structure constantly and change, and part of what I'm doing here is creating some stability and focus, a container for focus, so like where I can be all in. And that's something worth talking about, is where in our lives we're all in. And it doesn't matter what happens, we're still going to go in that direction no matter what happens. And it's a tough thing. Like I've been all in on things before, and just the process of life happening and me responding to what happens, like can be a process of attrition where we end up like giving up or having to set down the thing we thought we'd never give up on that we're so passionate about. So what is this Freedom School and self-healing and liberation thing that I'm so all in for? And I'm making a place to share it because I want to do it with other people. So it's such a journey to, I could just sit here by myself and like make videos and communicate with people online and like never actually touch the earth or another person. So I don't feel like that would defeat the point, just to, give out into the world from myself and see what comes back in, or anything. But it really has been a part of the whole thing for me from the beginning, that I want to live in community, that I'm working towards being in a village with people where I can go visiting or go to this workspace or go to this healing space and then come back to my own space, but without having to, drive or go through any stupid insanity in order to do that. So bigger protected sanctuaries that are big enough to host a village of 20 people or 100 people or something, right? That's my goal. And yeah, a lot of people want to live in community and in villages, and in intentional community, I should say. Because of course, yes, we have community all around us. We have relationships that we're not tending to, like if we don't know our neighbors or look out for each other, doesn't mean the community isn't there. It just means we're not participating in making it happen. So I think there's something about, I think there's been a confusion in my life that probably other people share about I don't know, I want to say like what it takes. So I don't know, I guess I'm kind of back to this thing I studied on for the last about 2 years, so maybe 2.5 years, 3 years, which was sovereignty, the intersections of sovereignty and anarchy, and which is self-governance, right? Being self-determined, self-directed, and being sovereign in our own self, right? And choosing to be a good citizen, as I think human beings naturally want to take care of each other and know that we need each other. So moving from a codependence into an interdependence, what does that look like? And after studying Toko Turner's amazing, amazing body of work in her book Belonging, one of her main conclusions is that we create belonging. So it's something that actually, we can be seeking and seeking and seeking, but I was like, oh my God, I'm looking for this everywhere, and I'm looking for people to create it with, but it really starts from here. Like, that's so true. Like, we are the ones we have been waiting for. It does start with us. And so, my badass ability to go all in on stuff with like my passion, determination, some relative amount of giving no fucks. You know, it's like, I think that a lot of things people think are really hard or impossible, I don't agree. And like, or I don't care that they're hard, and I definitely think they're not impossible. I'm like, but that's the direction I want to go. That's exactly where I want to go. So it can't be impossible because I'm a spark of God and I've been given this desire. And it may be that I'm, you know, this is how it goes with vision and passion and stuff. It's like, oh, I thought it meant this. And then as we walk toward, we make any sort of commitment in life and we walk towards it, we start taking steps towards it. We start to see, oh, I didn't quite know what it meant. I didn't even know what I committed to until I committed to it. So what's our commitment to life, to our own journey, to healing, right? If we give up our commitment so easily because, you know, somebody said not the perfect thing we were hoping, or things aren't going the way we imagined, right? Like, I don't know, like we give up really easy, like we're taught, like it's part of the whole conditioning of consumerism and this new version of slavery that we're all, you know, voluntarily more or less like talked into. It's sort of voluntary. Of course it's not voluntary, but you know, we're all sort of perpetuating it just out of, I don't know, hopelessness and apathy. Because we could build beautiful things. There's you know, I heard about this community in South America that they basically got, you know, sort of ostracized from their region, and people stopped going there, and they were really alone and isolated. There was a lot of violence and all of this stuff there. And so somehow a shift happened, and now they have like 100 different programs in their community that foster life and help them take care of each other. And they didn't have any money to start doing it with. They just had need. And they were left alone. There was no authority to save them or tell them what to do or sort of keep them on the dripping little trickle of economic support or something like that from a government or something like that. And so they're like, well, shit, our kids are going to be totally fucked if we don't all pull together. So they did, and they are. And, you know, one of the other stories is like, I watched this permaculture video of people in India who have like each other and some seeds and some dirt and a trash can lid, and they build paradise. So, you know, some determination to make something beautiful and to do it. So I feel like part of our job as change makers is just to show people what's possible, to embody it ourselves, to be liberated, to be happy, to be joyful, to speak truth, to interrupt stupidness with love and clowns. But then also to just, you know, showcase that there are really good possibilities. There's people all over the world. I mean, there's millions of people, maybe billions, working for positive change, and their lives are more or less dedicated to it. So that is having a good effect on the world. And of course, I believe that if we don't actually change the institutions, you know, the framework, the story that education or government tax system and money are coming out of, if that story stays the same, we can't really evolve. Like, it has to change or it's going to fall apart. So I'm not the only one who kind of thinks that way and is so determined to move into a new story that I've developed an ability to be okay with being in between and saying, I don't know, and all these things, because if I had to know all the answers before I began doing something new, I'd only create a different version, what we call, you know, trying to create a better mousetrap. And so that's one of my catchphrases is, don't build a better mousetrap. Really do something different. So anyway, kind of a ramble and a rant here today. I'm really excited to talk about honesty and excellence, which of course is related to this and something I'm really passionate about, and, you know, abandoning perfection in favor of excellence. I don't know what's going on. I don't know everything. I really don't. And it's very tender and difficult and beautiful to be me doing this work. So, But it's what I want to do. And I hope that you get something out of it. It inspires you. And yeah, I'm here to serve life because we never can do anything else. And I want to do it consciously. I'm more fascinated by our consciousness and relationships and the hows and whys of everything and what's really going on here. So, more soon. I love you, everybody. Be well. Be liberated.